Okay, this example here is going to be, this is section 8-4 still, section 8-4, page 441. It is number 9. So problem number 9, it is one of the problems in your homework. So we're going to go through and do this. Now, they want, in this problem, they want you to find the volume of the composite figure. So what we have in this particular case is we have a half a sphere, all right, which would be a hemisphere, and we have a cone. And so we have a cone and a hemisphere, which is half of a sphere. So what we're going to have to do is find the volume of these two figures. We're going to find the volume of the sphere, and then we'll divide that in half, and that will give us the hemisphere. And then we're going to find the volume of the cone, and then we'll add those two together. So first of all, we're going to find the volume of the sphere. And so I need to always start by writing the formula. The volume of a sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. So volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. That is for a sphere. This is for a sphere. All right. And so we're going to now, what I need to plug in, I've got to know the radius. So to know the radius, I go to my diagram. Up here, it is actually giving me the width of this sphere here. The diameter would be 14. So that means then the radius for the sphere is going to end up to be 7, because the radius would be half of the diameter. And so now I have my radius and I can plug that in. So volume equals 4/3 pi, and then it's going to be 7 cubed. And so now I've got my radius, I've got my numbers in there. We're going to leave pi in there until the end, and then we can plug in 3.14. So volume equals 4/3. We're going to take 7 times 7 times 7, and that's going to give me 343. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here, 343, and then I'll put my pi symbol at the end. And so 7 cubed was 343, and so now I've got 4/3 times 343 times pi. We need to take the 4/3 times the 343, and that's going to give me then 457.333, and that keeps going on. And then I'm going to plug in the 3.14 for pi. And we multiply those together then, and we end up with 1,436.0266, and then it keeps going on. Now, it wanted us to round to the nearest whole number, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. And so, rounding at the nearest whole number would be here at the 6. We look behind, and so it's going to stay a 6. So 1,436, and that would be centimeters cubed. Now, that is for the whole sphere. We do not have a whole sphere here. We have a hemisphere. So we're going to have to divide that by 2. And so now I'm going to take then the 1,436, which is for the whole sphere, and I'm going to divide it by 2, and that will give me then 718, and that would be centimeters cubed. And so that is for the hemisphere. All right, so I'm going to take that, and so I'm going to write that over here to the side, the 718, so that I remember, because I'm running out of space, I'm going to have to go ahead and erase this. And so I'm going to go ahead and write that over here. So 718 centimeters cubed, that is my volume for the hemisphere. Now I've got to find the volume for the cone. And so now I'm going to erase this And then I'll be able to find the volume of the cone, of the cone. And then once we find that, we can add it to our volume of the hemisphere and have then our answer for the total volume. So for the cone, first thing we do is write down the formula. So the volume is equal to 1/3 pi r squared and then times the height. And so this is for the cone. And I'll go ahead and write that up here for the cone. That is my formula, 1/3 pi r squared times the height. Now, so what I need then is I need the height, which it's giving me that is 17. And I need the radius, which we found that it was half the diameter, so it is going to be 7. So I'm going to plug those in. So 1/3, and I'm going to leave pi in there. My radius was 7, and so it's going to be squared, and my height is 17. So now I've got my numbers plugged in. Now I can go ahead and start solving. So 1/3 pi, 7 squared would be 49, and then it would be times 17. And then I'm going to go ahead and take 49 times the 17, and so I get 1/3 pi, and then 49 times 17, that's going to be 833. And so now I have those two multiplied together, got 833. And now I need to take 1/3 of the 833, and so that's going to give me 277.666, and it's going to keep going on. And then we still have our pi symbol in there. So this is all multiplication, so I'm taking 1/3 times the 833, and that's giving me the 277.666 repeating. Now then I'm going to plug in, since I have my pi, I'm going to plug in the 3.14 for pi. 3.14, I'm plugging that in for pi, and now I can multiply those two together and get my volume, which is 871.87331, and it keeps going on. And we're gonna, since we rounded to the nearest whole number, we want to round this one to the nearest whole number, and so that's an 8, and so that's going to raise it up to a 2. So 872 centimeters cubed. That is my volume for the cone. So I found the volume for the hemisphere. I found the volume for the cone. And so it's a composite figure. Now we're going to take and add those two together. So I'll come over here, 872, and that's centimeters cubed. And we're going to add those together to get our total volume for this composite figure. And so when we add those together, we end up with 0.951. So 1,590 centimeters cubed. That is for the composite figure, this whole thing. Then that would be our final answer. That would be our volume. So the volume was 1,590 centimeters cubed. That is my final answer. That's the volume for the total composite figure. And so anytime you're dealing with a composite figure, you're going to have more than one figure. You're going to have to separate those, find the volume of one, find the volume of the other one, and then add them together. And so this was example number 9. It is in your book, page 441, and it is on your homework. So this is an example you could look at to help you.